Hung, a name that carries a gentle appearance, but hides a heart full of calculation and resentment. Her unrequited love for Jack turned into obsession and burning jealousy when she saw him give his heart to lytuteu. Tien being harshly rejected. Her pride was deeply hurt. Hung could not bear to see the person she loved happy with someone else. In the darkness of disappointment, a dark thought arose in Hung's mind. She realized that to have Jack, she had to remove all obstacles, and lytutay was just a part of a larger plan. Jack's power and status were what Hung craved, and she believed that the only way to achieve it was to defeat him in the business world. Toan's appearance was like a glimmer of light in Hung's dark night. She quickly recognized Toan's potential. A young CEO, full of enthusiasm and experience. Hung decided to approach Toan not with sincerity, but with lies and cleverly concealed ambition. She proactively applied to be Toan's personal secretary, painting an image of a dedicated, intelligent woman who was willing to devote herself to the company's development. Toan, grateful for lytutay's help when he had an accident and impressed with Hung's enthusiasm and ability, did not hesitate to hire her. As soon as she got a position next to Toan, Hung began to carry out her sinister plan. She secretly collected information about Toan's company, looking for weaknesses and loopholes in management. With her inherent intelligence and sharpness, Hung quickly grasped the company's financial situation, partnerships, and important projects. However, Hung did not stop at collecting information. She began to sow the seeds of suspicion and division within Toan's company. With clever words and subtle actions, Hung deliberately created misunderstandings between Toan and his close associates, weakening the solidarity and trust in the company. The climax of Hung's plan was to eliminate Toan. She realized that only when Toan disappeared could she easily manipulate the company, seize his power and assets. Hung began to elaborate a plan to cause an unexpected accident for Toan, an incident that would appear to be an unfortunate incident. The two strangers that Hung secretly hired were the key pieces in this dark game. She had been following Toan for a long time, knowing his schedule and habits. Hung would choose a suitable time and place where the accident could happen most naturally and be most difficult to detect. Hung's goal is not only to eliminate Toan, but also to ensure that all suspicion will not fall on her. She will create the perfect cover, perhaps a false witness or a solid alibi. After Toan is eliminated, Hung will take advantage of her position as secretary to take control of the company. With the information and relationships she has painstakingly collected, Hung believes that she can easily control everything and turn Toan's company into her own. And with power and wealth, Hung believes that Jack will have to look at her with a different, as she has the illusion that her success will make Jack regret rejecting her and will eventually come back to her. Hung's plan is a complex web of lies, intrigue, and bottomless greed. She has lost her kindness and compassion, leaving only a cold heart and a blind desire for power. Will this evil plan succeed? And what dangers will innocent people like lytutay and Jack face from Hung's hatred? Only time will tell. When he heard the news of Toan's mysterious disappearance after the meeting at lytutien's farm, CEO Jack was shocked, and an indescribable unease invaded his mind. Although there was a hidden competition between him and Toan and their feelings for lytutay, Jack always respected Toan as a kind and generous man. Toan's sudden disappearance, especially after they had just had a peaceful meeting and Toan even blessed his relationship with Tien, made everything extremely strange and worrying. At first, Jack felt a little confused and suspicious. He recalled the meeting at the farm. Toan still maintained a polite and sincere attitude. There was no sign that Toan was in danger or had any intention of leaving mysteriously. Toan's blessing for him and Tien sounded sincere, and the act of hugging and saying goodbye was not awkward. So what happened after Toan left the worry for. Toan's safety quickly overwhelmed all other thoughts, even though they were rivals in love. Jack did not want anything bad to happen to Toan. He recalled the time Toan had an accident and was saved by Tien. The gratitude and sincere feelings that Toan had for Tien were undeniable. Such a person, why would he suddenly disappear? Without a trace, Jack began to think logically, trying to piece together the events. He wondered if there were any external factors that influenced Tun's disappearance. Was there an enemy in Tun's work, or had an unexpected incident happened on the way back? Jack's eyes flashed with anxiety as he looked at Tuti. He knew she was also confused and worried, even though she had made her choice. Tien still respected Toan as a kind brother. Toan's sudden disappearance would definitely cause a big shock to her. Jack gently held Tuti's hand, squeezing it tightly as if to reassure both her and himself. He decided he couldn't sit still and wait. He needed to act to find out clearly what had happened to Toan. Jack said to Tuti, his voice low with worry, "It's not normal for Toan to disappear so mysteriously. We need to ask for their help to search." Besides, Jack also contacted his acquaintances in the business world, trying to collect information about Toan. He called Toan's assistant, friends, and business partners, asking if anyone knew Toan's whereabouts or if anything unusual had happened to him. Jack had a bad feeling he could not rule out the possibility that there was some conspiracy behind this disappearance. Toan's previous statement that he would not stand still if Jack hurt Tuti suddenly echoed in his mind. Although he knew Toan was a good person in this situation, all possibilities needed to be considered. However, this thought was quickly dismissed by Jack. He believed in Toan's sincerity and did not want to doubt a friend. Time passed in tension and waiting. Jack was always by Tien's side, encouraging and comforting her. Both of them were looking forward to good news about Toan. Toan's disappearance cast a dark shadow over their budding happiness. In the depths of his mind, Jack kept wondering what happened to Toan after he left the farm. Was there some danger lurking, and was this disappearance related to their last meeting? Those questions kept haunting Jack's mind, making him unable to rest easy. He was determined to find the truth no matter how difficult and dangerous the road ahead was. When he learned that Toan had been missing for many days, Lytutien was shocked and choked with pain, drowning out all the peaceful feelings she had just had. Tien's heart felt like someone was squeezing at her. Breathing became difficult, and a mist covered her eyes that were already filled with sadness. During the most difficult days of her life, when loneliness and despair seemed to engulf her, Toan appeared as a friend, a warm brother. His silent help and sincere concern became an invaluable spiritual support for Tien. Even though she knew Toan's feelings were not reciprocated, he was always by her side, respected her decision, and wished her happiness with Jack. Now, when she heard that Toan was missing, Tien could not believe her ears. A kind and gentle person like Toan, why did he suddenly disappear without a trace? Memories of the times Toan helped her, the sincere words of encouragement, the small gifts he silently sent, all rushed back into Tien's mind, making her pain even more intense. A vague sense of guilt crept into Tien's heart. The last time she saw Toan at the farm, he happily blessed her and Jack. Did something wrong happen to Toan after he left? Was his disappearance related to that meeting? Unanswered questions kept haunting Tien's mind, sowing an inexorable unease in her heart. The worry for Toan's safety tormented Tien every second and minute. She couldn't imagine what could have happened to him. The image of Toan, who always had a gentle smile and was willing to help others, now immersed in the darkness of disappearance, made Tien's heart ache. Besides the anxiety, Tien also felt a great loss. Although her feelings for Jack were deep and sincere, Toan always held a special place in Tien's heart. He was the one who witnessed her suffering and helped her through the most difficult times. Toan's disappearance was like a great loss leaving an unfillable void in Tien's life. Long nights became harder for Tien to sleep. She tossed and turned thinking about Toan, praying for his safety. Her eyes were always looking into the distance as if trying to find a trace. Some news about her kind friend Jack was Alwa YS by Tien's side, holding her and comforting her. He understood the anxiety and sadness that Tien was going through. Together, they followed the news of the disappearance, hoping for a miracle. In Tien's heart, a faint belief still glimmered that Toan would return safely. She told herself that a good person like Toan would not encounter any bad things, but the prolonged silence and the lack of any clues about his whereabouts made Tien's fear grow stronger. Toan's disappearance cast a shadow over the happiness that was gradually blossoming between Tien and Jack. It reminded Tien of the fragility of life and the unexpected events that could happen at any time. In Tien's heart, a silent prayer always resounded. Toan, where are you? Please come back safely. Pain and waiting continued to torment the heart of the girl who had experienced so much suffering in her life. Thank you for following our story.